but he'll be bounced inside when you got to work on Zach Ertz. So I'll be watching that matchup tomorrow. And again, that's a key matchup to keep Carson Wentz's guy in check. While the linebackers, Byron Jones locking up Ertz, linebackers got to lock up, Dallas Goedert and Miles Sanders out of the backfield. I believe actually when it comes to him, and I'll talk about this with the roundtable, but Miles Sanders to me is a guy you want to maybe put Jordan Lewis on. Give him the Kamara treatment. Get Jordan Lewis on him, a shifty, quick guy who's going to be in the screen game and in the run and pass game pretty much the whole game.
I think that might be a more effective way of shutting him down just because of the fact that, like you said, the personnel that they're missing are going to make them over-rely on using Sanders, on using the slot, the screen, all of that. So I guess my question is, can Jordan Lewis handle it? And are there other things that we can do, again, like the linebackers that should be helping him out there, which, again, talking about linebackers real quick, I know Texas Sports Roundup said that he thought LVE would be back by next week.
I say
if he is, I would be extreme. If he is, you can knock me over the feather. Because right now, there's been no signs of it. Hopefully, again, like Fiancé just said, if we do have a postseason, fingers crossed, LVE will be back for that. But still no real updates on LVE's health situation. We were supposed to hear something earlier this week. And again, crickets. So hopefully, again, let's stick to the Eagles game as far as that. But I did want to touch on the LVE thing for a second. Yeah. But again, to me, Jordan Lewis doing that depends a lot on the fact that, Jalen Smith, Sean Lee, Joe Thomas.
That last guy you said there, Joe Thomas, is the big question mark. But yes.
So, again, these guys have to back him up because if not, again, Jordan Lewis, he's going to have moments where he won't miss. He just will overshoot, right? Move too fast.
And our linebackers,
behind,
too. So our linebackers did a lot.
We just need all the levels to be there. And schematically speaking, I'm not really sure what we can do to make sure that, we have a linebacker in a position to help Jordan Lewis if he's the guy in the slot.
Well, again, it depends on who's the slot guy. But yeah, I think you might see Arcega Whiteside jump into the inside, and Ertz on the other side. You got to have your slot guy, probably someone like Jordan Lewis playing Arcega Whiteside while Byron Jones maybe watching Zach Ertz on the other side.
All right.
Whatever the matchup is.
I don't know what time it is.
Ready to have the game plan. That's Marinelli.
Just waiting on
the offensive side, guys.
my Cowboys family to link up. But appreciate y'all joining us tonight on this round table. Final thoughts, opinions, analysis on the game tomorrow. Very important game. Very important game.
The Cowboys are supposedly not going to cut ends. Basically,
season's basically on the line, pretty much.
Kind of shorten the playbook, so because
on the line.
They're kind of saying with Dak saying himself, he's going to stay aggressive in exchange for the injury. Are they going to still run? I don't think they're going to run Dak. But
what up, bro?
A chance.
What up, 1980?
Dallas Cowboy football news is in the house.
It's going to help Zeke, guys. Zeke has been stuffed on 14 out of 135
rushing attempts
since week 8. That is 10.
Yeah, we waiting on them to. I sent the link over to them, so they should get it and come on over.
Running backs, the NFL average is 18.6.
It's all good. I got all night.
Go Bolts. I can't hear you, football news. Where you at, man?
We need to kind of start getting him not.
Can you hear me now?
Seeing a stock line, that kind of stuff, which we actually got better.
Testing 1, 2, 3.
And bro.
Can you hear me?
Tomorrow. We have to win tomorrow.
Yeah, gonna be a war. Let me kick a shout out to everybody that's in here.
Testing 1, 2, 3.
Corey, Queen Chase. I'm sorry if I pronounced that wrong. If I butchered that, I'm terribly sorry. Marche Palmer, George, Kyle, Kevin, Dave. What up, everybody? JC, all the way from Los Angeles. Go Bolts. William Taylor, what's up? Jared Jones. Scott Wells, Dave Yarnell, just trolling. For some reason, I'm not worried about this game. In fact, I believe we'll. Yeah, this is one of those games where the Dallas Cowboys have no choice but to win. I mean, the writing's on the wall. I believe we're the better team. They got a lot of injuries and and everything. I think we need to go ahead and take advantage. Seriously, DJ Money, what's up? Marcellus Menendez, what's up, Jeff? Let's see, Dave. Percy, DJ Cobb, what's up? Adrian, what's up? Let me try football news again and see if I can. Football news, what's up, man?
Can you hear me knocking?
I don't get why I can't hear. Let me make sure my volume is up. Oh, you know what? It's me. It's me, dog.
Can you hear me knocking?
There we go. It was
Well,
me.
let me in.
I had you on mute, man. My bad.
It's all good, brother. We're live. That's what happens when you're live. There's errors. Ain't nobody perfect in the live game. But we are here, man. Happy Saturday night, man. You get your Christmas shopping done?
Yeah. I still got a couple more things to get. My wife is going to go back out Monday or tomorrow and Monday. So, because I got to go back to work Monday. So I got to work Monday and Tuesday. And, you know, she's a teacher, so she's off, you know, until after New Year's, you know. So
Right.
You know,
I can officially say our Christmas shopping got done last night.
wow.
My mom was the last gift, and she is probably the hardest person. She's worse than a child because she's very particular what she likes, what she doesn't like, and people say, you know, that I'm pretty outspoken and, you know, I'm pretty savage when it comes to saying what's on my mind. My mom has a bad habit of doing that. So it's like, do you think she'll like – I was just going to give her a middle finger for Christmas, but I don't think she would like that.
Wow. Well, yeah, that's good, man. Like I said, I still got a couple of more – we still got a couple of more things to go – to get, and we're pretty much done. We're just waiting on my Cowboys family to link over. I sent them the link, so just waiting on them to hop on over so we can get this party started, man. I guess we can talk. How you feeling, man? How you feeling about tomorrow going into this game?
I'm going to be honest. I'm feeling like how I felt last week. It's not on my mind. It's in the back of my mind. It's not like front-centered. I'm just, there's a game tomorrow.
Yeah.
And I'm going to turn on the game. I'm just going to relax. I'm going to make steaks tomorrow. I'm going to make beef sirloin steaks tomorrow, medium rare, before the game. And I'm just going to relax, turn on the TV, and see what happens. And I didn't even celebrate a touchdown last week until it was 28-7.
Yeah.
And so that's how I'm feeling. I'm doing the exact same thing that I did last week. I'm not overzealous. I'm not overconfident.
Yeah.
All the Dallas Cowboys did was break a 3-game losing streak.
Yeah.
And that's how I'm looking at it this week. Right now, we're on a 4-game losing streak. You know, that's how I'm looking at it.
Yeah.
I didn't post no memes. You know, I did put a $5 super chat on Chango. Die Eagles got die, but that's because I hate the Eagles. I can't stand the Eagles. My kids will randomly walk around the house and say, "Die Eagles, die." Eagles suck. My kids are programmed to know who the most hated team in this division is, and it's those Eagles.
Wow. Yeah, I'm kind of approaching it the same way. I'm confident, but like you say, in the back of my mind, I'm kind of like, okay, I'm not going to get too overconfident about this game. We have the upper hand. It's just up to the Dallas Cowboys to take advantage. And this is it. You know, game on the line. I hate our seasons have to come down to this. I really do. You know, we had a lot of chances to be in the driver's seat and take off with the NFC East, but we decided to lose 3 games in a row, and here we are. You know, so that's kind of, I'm still kind of upset about that. We shouldn't even be in this predicament, but we are. I can't go back and cry over spilled milk. What's done is done, and that's something we got to deal with tomorrow. I'm just hoping. I'm hoping the Dallas Cowboys approach this game just like they approached against the Rams. You know,
momentum.
Exactly.
Momentum is everything.
Yeah.
And if the Cowboys got was last week fool's gold, or was it something that they can cash in on?
Yeah.
Because you just can't go beat the Rams, who, by the way, got eliminated officially today in the NFL playoffs. There's one spot left. Go figure. It's the NFC East division winner. And that could be the Cowboys tomorrow. If there's any momentum on the Dallas Cowboys side, and last week was not a fluke, they should go in Lincoln Financial Field and lay the smack it down.
Yeah.
On those bird eyes.
Right. Yeah. That's what they need to do. They need to approach it just like they did last week against the Rams, and just go ahead and take it. Take advantage. They got a lot of injuries and guys out and things like that. So, we should be able to take advantage, man. We got my Cowboys family finally in the stream, guys. How do you guys feel about tomorrow's game? Are you confident or overconfident? Or you just about it? How you guys going to approach this week, man, this Sunday?
Beyonce?
Well, first of all, shout out to you, 1980. Shout out to DCFN. Shout out to DJ Kanye, Fifth Quarter Cowboys. I know he's busy working, getting ready for work, all that good stuff. So
that man works a lot.
But yeah, I'm nervous. I'm more nervous than anything just because, again, the Cowboys have given me hope. The way we played against the Rams and the way that the Rams, again, played tonight against the 49ers, it just reminds me that we do have a real chance. We're not crazy for sitting here, realistically thinking our Cowboys are done for on one hand. Like, there's no way we're going to be able to find success. And then on the other hand, thinking, no, we absolutely do have a chance here because look at our talent. Look at these teams. Look at what we can do. So to me, it all starts here. And yeah, to me, on paper, there's no reason why we should lose. I hate saying that, but the point is that the Eagles are a very hurt team. I know you're going to break it down in a lot more detail here, but Eagles have a lot of injuries working against them. The matchup favors us, but overall, it is about our swag. It's about our attitude. It's about the way that we step onto Lincoln Field. If we go in there like we own the place, like we know we have this, like we can do this, that's going to go a long way towards getting this Cowboy team to keep that momentum going. And of course, playing out the game right, winning the game, executing. I still think, despite everything, that the game plan should be somewhat similar to the way we beat the Rams. So again, lots of 22 personnel, lots of Jarwin, lots of Witten, lots of Zeke, and lots of Pollard. So, maybe our receivers, you might not see them as much, but I do think they'll have a bigger game just because, again, injuries and all that. But, baby, what do you think?
The Eagles' defense they're not good at all, really, and they're even worse they're horrific in the passing game. That's why I believe, the Dak situation, I think that's something that we have to keep an eye on. But at the same time, I think that Dak is fine, and I think that as long as we use the running game creatively, we will be. I think we can tear them up on the ground and in the air. I think we'll lean on them in the second half on the ground. There's no way we should lose this game. Am I nervous? No, I'm not nervous because either way. Listen, if we lose the game, all the fucking coaches need to be fired on the fucking spot. There's no reason we should lose to the Eagles tomorrow. I know it's an NFC East game, and I know that, they got heart and all this bullshit. Listen, this team has been busted up, broken. You think we got problems and injury? They got millions of more problems, 10 times worse than we got. There's no reason why we should not get our first NFC East, championship won in Philadelphia for the first time, I think, in our history, by the way. And definitely in that field, in those fields of Philadelphia. So listen, I'm not. Listen, we got to win. That's it. If we lose, I'll be extremely upset, extremely surprised, and in the sense of because the Eagles are even with Garrett, even at our worst this year, we should be able to beat a team like the Philadelphia Eagles. Now, we'll go into it a little more later, I'm sure. Like the offensive scheme, defensive scheme, we got to see the similar aggressiveness on defense that we saw last week. You got to see similar creativity on offense that we see next week. If we do those things, you can look at a 40-point game for us. I'm not joking. I truly believe that against this broken team, NFC East, all that good stuff. I don't care. That's the way it should be. Now, what do I think with a Garrett-led team? Anything is possible. That's why if we do lose tomorrow, we got to look at it realistically. If we do lose, listen, I got to look at it. We got a second-place schedule next year. We got a 10-pick higher draft pick.
Pretty high draft pick.
We got Garrett fired on the fucking spot. That's it. I got to look at it at the two positives because we are right now still, by record, an average team. I don't think we have average talent, but we have an average team as by record. And until they show me more, I do not trust them any farther than I can throw them. I do not trust the Cowboy team until they show me some consistency here on offense and defense, and as a coaching staff, as a team.
Yeah, I when I was talking earlier, I was telling Football News, I said the Dallas Cowboys need to take advantage. Eagles are tied 9th in the NFL for most turnovers, which is 23. When we played them last, they had 3. They lost 3 fumbles and 1 interception. They had 4 turnovers. We were able to, make them turn the ball over 4 times, in week 7. So their passing defense is ranked 28th in the NFL, and that's pretty bad. They don't have a secondary at all. So the Dallas Cowboys need to put the foot on the gas and just keep going, just like they did against the Rams. If we can stop the Rams and their high-powered offense with Todd Gurley and shut them down to 20 yards, it's game over. The Dallas Cowboys have to realize what type of advantage that they have. Now, I almost hate having an advantage like this, and I almost hate that a lot of the Eagles players are hurt, because now you're going to hear the excuse of, the only reason why y'all won is because they, be ready to hear that if we win after the game. But if it was the other way around, if we reverse that, and if it was us hurt, Dallas sucks. We beat y'all fair and square, yada, yada, yada. So I almost wish they had all their guys so it could be a, neck and neck matchup. But it is what it is. We didn't ask them or vote or vote them out. They got hurt on their own, so we didn't ask for those guys to be hurt. Unfortunately, the game has got to be played anyway. Look at Dak. He's not 100%. He's, suffering from a shoulder injury that he suffered last week against the Rams when, Matthews, fell on him on a tackle and he tried to get away. But, we'll see. Hopefully Dak will be, ready to go. I hope it's not more than meets the eye with that injury. But the defense, just like last week, the defense is going to win this game. It has to win this game for us. That's why we won against the Rams last week, shutting Gurley down to 20 yards, and meant a lot. It really opened doors for everything else. That starts the music, that starts the rhythm, that gets the band playing, that gets the orchestra going. The defense and the offensive line are the 2 biggest things on the football team. And once we get that going and be dominant and really take advantage, tomorrow's game is about taking advantage. Cowboys need to take advantage and go on, get the NFC East and go through the back door of the playoffs. But this defense has to just shut them out completely. Take Zach Ertz out, rush Carson Wentz, put him on his ass. Sky's the limit, So I'm looking forward to the Dallas Cowboys because that's pretty much his only weapon. I'm looking for us to running on the defensive side of the ball. Marinelli, if they're smart, Marinelli and Chris Richard running a 4-3 defense, cover 3 or cover 4. What you got your Sam, you got your weak side and strong side linebacker covering anywhere from seam to flats, which meaning hash line to flats. And then you got your middle linebacker is in pretty much a middle spy, middle thirds, not deep thirds, just middle thirds. And that's kind of like a spy on a quarterback, but kind of keeping an eye on tight ends or any type of run, play action and passes, dump passes to the middle of the field to the running back. So, and all the secondary guys now cover 3 is when the strong safety, 4-3 cover 3 is when the strong safety plays up closer to the line. Cover 4, he's back and everybody's back. I'm looking forward to, strong safety coming up, Jeff Heath coming up, because he's really good in the box on the line. So that's what I'm looking forward to them to do. And that'll eliminate all those dump passes remember how the Rams were killing us? They were killing us on those dump passes. Hell, every team was killing us, all those dump passes to the, seam the flats to the sideline. That's always open. That's because we run a safe defense and, towards the, no big plays downfield, which is understandable, so. But that's what I'm looking for the defense to do, to be aggressive at the same time, Jordan Lewis, I'm really looking for him to be impactful. He's arguably one of the best slot nickel corners in the game, more physical corners in the game, and he has an eye and a knack for the football. And we need guys like that in the secondary because he's probably the only one. Cheeto, Byron Jones, they played it real safe. I went back and watched these games. I watched the game and I was watching their coverage schemes, and they both really played it safe. They were kind of like a man spy zone type of defense. They were not allowing the big play. They were not allowing the wide receiver to get behind them, and they had really good coverage and really good safe coverage. So if they can run that again, I know it's a different team, but every team wants to score. So the object is to stop them from scoring and 3 and out, get your defense off the field, and get your offense. That's why we had so many points last week, because the defense was 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out, and giving our offenses chances to, make plays and get feed Zeke and, things like that. So, but that's all I pretty much got on as far as the defensive side of the ball. I don't know, football news, if you wanted to add anything. I'm sorry if I ran my mouth too long, but I just had to get all that out. So
Oh, no, I thought we were just doing introductions real quick because, Miss Fiance talked about she has full confidence, and, Mr. MCF talked about, if we lose the game, the whole coach staff is fired. So I thought we were just doing a little introduction. So I'll touch on that real quick.
Sorry about that.
No, you're fine, brother. I just hate that players are hurt for Philly also. If you look at the Dallas Cowboy 2019 history book, they can't win against teams that are banged up. And that's what scares me. Miss Fiance says she has all the confidence in the world because of what we did to the Rams. I don't have that much confidence in this team until they win this ball game, because one thing the 2019 Dallas Cowboys lack is consistency, execution, shooting themselves in the foot. When the season started, I stand by what I said to this guy that always comments on my page is, who could beat the Dallas Cowboys? And I said the Dallas Cowboys can beat the Dallas Cowboys. And the 2019 Dallas Cowboys, the Cowboys have found ways to beat themselves in all 7 of their losses. And I'm not drinking the Kool-Aid yet until these guys go in there and beat the Philadelphia Eagles. If MCF wants to talk on defense, I'll go after him.
MCF, you got anything on defense? I'm sorry if I went and hit everybody. I just I was kind of on a roll. And I just went into it.
Good.
It's great,
again,
man.
you hit on a lot of good points, especially when it comes to, again, specifically what kind of defensive packages or schemes do we want to do? Because first of all, Tampa 2, throw that right out the window. So one thing I think you touched on specifically, I think the cover 3, I think is going to be key here. And obviously, to me, the linebacker health is going to be key in whatever we do here. So Joe Thomas, I know he's still questionable, so fingers crossed he's going to be good to go. But as long as he's good to go, I think that we're going to be able to, run the schemes we want to.
Well, we're running mainly we run a nickel defense, which usually, again, if we run a 4-3, we're moving in. If we lose Joe Thomas, we got to run a lot of nickel. Let's just be real about this. We got to bring in basically replacing Joe Thomas with a coverage guy. It could be a safety, it could be a corner, but somebody who probably is going to run a slot like Jordan Lewis will be our 3rd guy in there. But I believe on defense. Here's what I'm thinking, what I'm surmising in my little mind. If we actually were, because again, they got Greg Ward Jr. and who is it, Reggie or Reynolds, I don't know, Davis on the other side. I mean, 2 guys you don't even know who they are, and JJ Arcega-Whiteside, he's a rookie. These are their 3 starting receivers. You got to concentrate on their stars, on their star players, and that is the guys that are left, Zach Ertz. And I believe you put not every single time, but you put Byron Jones. You move him into the freaking wherever Ertz is. You put him on him. You lock him down on 3rd down and 7, and whatever it is, it's a passing play. Wentz is going to go. He doesn't have his receivers. Nobody can stretch it deep. He's got to go to tight ends. You got to stop Ertz. You got to stop Dallas Goedert. You got to have with Goddard, you can use other guys to kind of slow him down, like the linebackers. But I believe you put Byron Jones on Ertz and you let him handle him. And I think we got to stay aggressive. We do those things. I think that's going to help the passing game with kind of more of that Richard mentality. And I know that Wentz does very well against cover 3, by the way, and against the blitz. He was very good last week as well. So you got to look at that as well when it comes to Wentz. But they were doing a lot of stuff just to the tight ends, to the running backs, kind of like what we did last week against the Rams. Mm-hmm. The other key is stopping Miles Sanders. Miles Sanders is their running back. No Jordan Howard in this game. He's questionable, but he's hardly even. He was limited all week. He hasn't even been cleared for contact. Maybe he has today. I don't know. But my point is that he's probably not going to play.
They use him in the run game, but they use him, kind of a receiver as well.
Right, screens. That's what kills us. Now look, they're gonna have to overwork him because they have Jay Ajayi and a little 5'6" guy in there too. So Boston Scott is his name. Those are the only guys they have left outside of Jordan Howard. Miles Sanders is going to be the workhorse, and he's not a big guy. He's the fast, kind of like a Tony Pollard, but not as big or strong as him. So, you're going to have Miles Sanders in the screen game trying to work our linebackers to over pursue with our speed that we have on defense. That's going to be a key guy to watch. I think he's number 26 for the Eagles. The point here, what I would do is I would a lot of times on key situations, you're smelling a screen coming to Miles Sanders, because they're going to do screens to tight ends as well, and even a receiver or two. But they're going to do screens as well to all these guys. We got to cover the screen. We got to make sure we stop the screens, and because they're going to use that against us, our speed. But what you do is on some plays, you put Jordan, you give Miles Sanders the Kamara treatment. You try to assign Jordan Lewis to be on the speedy, fast guy, and just watch him on those screens. Watch him on those flats when he's running out of the backfield to catch those passes. I'm telling you, we need to make sure we secure him and secure Ertz. That's going to chop off both of Wentz's arms. And you add some pressure in there, and you give some deceptive blitzing.
You chop off his legs.
Yeah, hey, that's it. You got the game is over. Over.
Yeah. Zach Ertz likes to line off. He likes to look like a slot receiver. So I'm not. I know that you said Byron Jones. I doubt they put Byron Jones on. I think they might put Jordan. Obviously, they'll probably put Jordan Lewis on him. Because they might run a lot of 4 receiver sets. They're going to try to spread the field and test our secondary.
I'm sorry to interrupt. No, I just wanted to make sure that I don't think they'll put him. I think they're not going to put like Byron Jones locked in on him every single time he's in the kind of playing like a slot position with a receiver. I think that in some situational third downs, we did it last game. It's going to happen again. They put him, they move him inside and then bounce the slot guy, which was Anthony Brown, to the outside. This time it had to be Jordan Lewis. But I think that because they are so weak at receiver, they have 4 receivers on their whole team, like actual wide receivers. Yeah. Going 4 receivers, I don't see it unless they use Ertz and Goddard as receivers as well. The tight ends as receivers. And then, of course, out of the backfield, Miles Sanders.
Again, they kind of have no choice.
Yeah.
Right. Well, yeah, good point. Well, yeah, like I say, man, we just got to Dallas Cowboys have to figure out a way to – I'm pretty sure they know, but they have to figure out a way to shut that down and take that out of the equation. And it starts from the defensive line. So defensive line, the way they play, D-Law normally, I think D-Law has 2 sacks against the Eagles when we played them in week 7, I believe. D-Law has a field day with the Philadelphia Eagles. So hopefully he can come out of the closet, come out of the phone booth or whatever, and him and Quinn can make some things happen, man, because that's where it starts, domino effect, and everybody else plays better when the defensive line plays better. So I am looking for a lot of 4-3, nickel cover 2, nickel cover 3, and nickel cover 4 as well too, because they don't want to give up the big play. We were a lot aggressive last week too against the Rams. Jordan Lewis blitz, he got him a sack, got 6 tackles and 1 sack last week. So maybe they can do that again. So depending on the timing and everything, and the rhythm of the defense and the rhythm of their offense and how they're running and things like that. So no quarterback can throw the ball on his ass. So that's where he belongs, and that's where we need to put him. And that's what I'm looking forward to.
Defense, huh? Defense it is. All right. The Eagles are going to run a lot of 11 personnel. They like to get Dallas Goedert involved. Obviously, they like to get Zach Ertz involved. He is their leading receiver this year for numerous reasons due to injuries and inconsistencies from their wide receivers. The Philadelphia Eagles love to run a streak out with their running back. They like to hit Ertz down the seams in the middle. They did it to us in week 7, but Jeff Heath was smart enough to understand what was going on from film, and he broke a couple of up. Look for them to go back to Zach Ertz on the seam. It's kind of like a seam out and they run a cross and pick with it too. It's kind of a unique design, and it damn near works every time. But if you don't watch your film, you're going to get burnt by that every time. And they try to get the balls in the running backs' hands because their wide receivers are hurt. 3 tight end sets, 11 personnel, the running backs catching footballs. You got to keep Carson Wentz in the pocket. You can't let him go on the run because he can destroy you on the run, man. That's really all. And the Cowboys have to play fast. They're going to play hard, and they have to play physical. But they got to take the 2 tight ends, Dallas Goedert and Zach Ertz, out of this football game.
That's exactly right. You're exactly right. And I'm seeing it right here. I'm watching film as we speak right now. And they got a running back. He's in play action. And they'll send the outside receiver on a 9 route. That's just a straight go route. And Zach Ertz, he motions and he goes on a down the seam post route down the middle. And that's what they're doing against the Giants, looks like it. And Giants fell for a hook, line, and sinker. So exactly the exact thing you said, I'm watching right here. They love to do it. They love to go out of play action. We can't give them time to be in play action, though. Play action takes time to develop. And the defensive line should already shut that down before it could even develop. My Cowboys family brought up the screen pass, too. Take that out of the equation, too. A lot of cover 2 will stop screen passes. Cover 2 will stop screen passes because you're
well, here's my thing when it comes to with the screens. If you over pursue the screens, they're going to fake a screen, and next thing you know, you're going to have Sanders, number 26. He's going to be 15 yards up the field where everyone's playing the screen still. And I'm telling you, these Eagles like to get the ball out in the open to the running back. So you gotta play discipline if you're gonna try to stop the screens early.
Yeah, good point. I'm glad you brought that up because that's the defensive lineman's job to not allow them to have enough time to decoy or fake a screen. You get what I'm saying? So, but that was a good point. And also, cover 2 would eliminate that as well. Like I keep saying, cornerbacks, they play a decoy on the wide receiver like their man, and they'll go out into the flats and be right there as soon as that, if they can get behind it. You got to be able to get behind the screen, though. You got to be able to get behind as a corner. You got to be able to get behind the screen and catch it before it develops. Catch it when it's premature. And that's the thing about the screen. You have to shut it down while it's premature. If you don't, it'll eat you alive. Just like a flea flicker or something like that. You got to catch it when it's premature. If you don't, that's where the defensive line come in at, man. If they do the same thing, Miss Fiance's formula, if that defense do the same thing they did last week, we ain't nothing to talk about. You get what I'm saying? So they just got to be mindful of where they need to be on the field and cover schemes and et cetera. That's their job to figure that out. So, we're looking at it. We're seeing it, and I'm looking at it hands-on right here, and I'm seeing their strengths and, and their weaknesses as well. And that's what they need to. The Dallas Cowboys, they're out there on the field. They got to figure that out too. So,
someone in the comment section said, "Y'all talking like Carson Wentz is Tom Brady." We're going over their strengths. We're talking about what our defense has to do. It's not the fact that he's Tom Brady or he isn't Tom Brady. It's the fact that he's won from behind twice in the past 2 weeks. I mean, if you want to think about it, you want to talk about momentum. They got more momentum than we do because they're on a winning streak. We aren't.
Good. Yeah. I think we know the sport. We have to look at. We can't take anybody for granted. You get what I'm saying? Just because they got injuries and things like that. Carson Wentz is not a bad. He's not a bad quarterback. Any quarterback, if they have time, anybody, I can stand back there. If I got time, I can pick you apart, So that's what we don't want because we've made average quarterbacks look good. Look at Chicago, look at Buffalo. We've made average quarterbacks look good by not having a pass rush, not being able to develop a good scheme to stop these guys. Games that we should have won but didn't because of bad scheme, bad placement, bad execution on the defensive side of the ball. Now, the Rams game, I don't know what the hell happened, but that was almost perfect defense. We held the running back down to 20 yards rushing, no touchdowns. And, that was it, and we did pretty good on the pass too. So that's what we're looking to do this week tomorrow against the Eagles. We're looking to shut them down completely. Cowboys family, anything else on defense? Cowboys family, there we go.
We're good. You guys kind of covered everything. I mean, I think just we got to stop the run and apply pressure on Wentz.
Your tackles. All right, now that's it. Now I'm done.
And no dumbass.
Make your tackles.
And no dumbass penalties, please.
Yeah, tackles win ball games. Y'all see what happened last week? I mean, they were wrapping up. They were tackling. We were getting to the quarterback. We were having them run all over the place. You know, tackling wins ball games if you make tackles. Because a lot of those missed tackles, like I've said before, a lot of those missed tackles are in the backfield, but we just can't get to them, and they turn negatives into positives. So poor tackling will lose you a ball game. Making tackles will win ball games because you're there. Just got to make the tackle, make the defensive stop, and it makes the defense look good. It makes the coaches look good, and and so on and so on. So, but I guess we can go to offense since we're done with defense. And who wants to start on offense?
DCFN, take it, man.
Football news. Okay.
I'm sorry, guys. What's the question?
You want to start on offense? We're about to hit up on offense now.
Oh, Dak Prescott in this offense, huh?
Yeah.
Amari Cooper needs to get out of the little funk that he's in because he's overdue for a 100-yard game. And for some reason, he plays well against the Eagles. And I think if the Cowboys want any playoff hope, you got to get your number one wide receiver out of this little funk that he's in, and it's time for Amari Cooper to start playing. I don't buy the whole he's hurt again because he hasn't done shit in a month. So anything that was hurt and should have been completely healed, hell, he had 4 bye weeks basically. Michael Gallup, he leads the league in drop passes. If you're going to go into the playoffs, Michael Gallup needs to start catching stuff. And Zeke, just because you ran like that against the Rams doesn't mean anything to me. Run like that against the Eagles, and then we'll talk again. But this offense has to be on the same page, just like they were. I mean, the offensive line had no penalties. That was probably like maybe the second game all year where they had no penalties, not even a holding penalty. A false start, Xavier Su'a-Filo, he played pretty decent, and your backup left guard needs to play that way again. This offense can be dangerous, but if I told you that Amari Cooper, Michael Gallup, and Randall Cobb had 22 yards collectively against the Rams, would you think we won or lost that game? You probably would have thought we lost it. Right. It's time for these wide receivers to step the hell up and stick to your running game because that's who we are. That's our identity. But your number one wide receiver has to do better than 3 targets a game. You need to start feeding the ball to your targets, your number 2 wide receiver. Because if Amari Cooper's going to get all this attention, Michael Gallup, that's probably why you have more drop passes than in the league because Amari Cooper's always double covered. You got to catch those footballs. Same thing with Randall Cobb. You got to secure it. You just can't secure it when it matters. You got to secure it all the time. And Zeke, you got to run. Tony Pollard, you need to tell the coach, hey, it's time to put me in. We need to start changing some things up. And if they do that, this offense could be it's number 1 in the National Football League, but the record is the shadow that covers it. You can't see it.
Can't see it.
And it's time for them to go out there and act like they're the number 1 offense from here on out. And if they do that against this defense, the Philadelphia's defense, what are they, 26th in pass? It's time for them to go to work. 28th. Yeah. It's time for them to go to work and get that momentum because right now they don't have momentum. They just lost a 3-game. They just ended a 3-game losing streak. That's all they did. Back to you, buddy.
Good job, man. I appreciate that. Dallas is on a 4-game winning streak. Alpha Pack, appreciate the super chat, man. Dallas is on a 4-game winning streak against the Philadelphia Eagles. Week 7, 37-10, blew them out. Zeke averages 114.8 yards in his career against the Eagles. Amari Cooper averages 132 yards. He hasn't been with us that long, but y'all, you get my message. I'm really hoping. I love the run because when you feel a lot better when you beat a team with the run. Something about the run. Last week when both of our running backs Yeah, I mean, both last week when both of our running backs got well over 100 yards rushing, and both of them had touchdowns. I think Zeke had 2, and Pollard had 1. It felt good. It felt great. It felt dominant. It's like you dominate a team when you beat them at the run because everything's at the line and at the trenches. Football News brought up that the offensive line had 0 penalties. 0, man. That's what we need this week. We need that same formula this week. But I want everybody to contribute too. I still want to dominate with the run, but I still want to mix in a little pass. Last week, it wasn't very much passing. When we played the Eagles last, Amari Cooper had 5 receptions for 106 yards. Ezekiel Elliott had 6 receptions for 36 yards. Michael Gallup had 3 for 34. Witten 4 for 33. Randall Cobb 2 for 29. I want a game kind of like that. You know, everybody touching the rock and contributing. I would love to beat them through the air, but I would love to beat them with the run too. So this is a poor defense. We need to take advantage of it. There's that word again, take advantage. Got to take advantage of it, man. The 28th pass defense, that's one of the worst in the league. And, I mean, they give up 230-something yards a game. So, you know, the sky's the limit with this game, man. The Dallas Cowboys just have to take advantage of it. Offensive line, will still follow out there, man. To me, it's just a little bit better. I mean, it just is. They dominated last week. That offensive line looked like all of them should have been in the Pro Bowl. You know, pretty much the way they played last week against the Rams. But you know, we go game by game, guys. You know, losing 3 games in a row was tough. It really was. It was hard on Cowboy Nation. Like I said about a week ago, we were all on suicide watch. You know, so. But, you know, given, like Miss Fiance said, winning that game last week, and then the way the 49ers played, they barely won that game against the Rams, a Rams team that we beat last week. So it kind of gives you a little hope. You know, everybody's rooting for their team. It's playoff time. It's getting down to the wire. And we just want what's best for our team, just like any other fan base. No, we're not shouting Super Bowl. We would love that. You know, it's been done before. You know what I'm saying? It's been done before. You remember the Giants did it back in, 2014 or 12 or something like that?
2011.
Oh, 2011. Yeah. So, I mean, it's anything's possible. Nothing's impossible. But this offense I want them to spread the ball around and also dominate with Zeke, but spread the ball around, you know. And just be consistent, man. Like I say, move the chains on 3rd down, score in the red zone. You'll win the game. You know what I'm saying? So that's all I pretty much got on offense. My Cowboys family, they might have something a little different. I might, you know, tag off of that, but we'll see what they got to say. What y'all got, Cowboys family?
What's up? And yeah, no, fiance started off.
Right.
Yeah.
So again, yeah, my general thoughts is, again, I touched on it a little earlier, but 22 personnel. So again, I want to see Zeke. I want to see Pollard. I want to see Blake Jarwin. And yeah, I guess I do want to see Jason Witten. To me, Jason Witten, again, should be used a little more strategically. I'm a little frustrated with the Cowboys, even though Jason Witten, you know, worked technically in the Rams game, and I'm not taking away that touchdown. I still feel like Blake Jarwin could have done more where Jason Witten just did enough, if that makes any sense. Again, I want to see Blake Jarwin early on in drives. I want to see him there often. And I know that blocking-wise, Jason Witten is still just a little bit better than Blake Jarwin. So, but the point is that I still think that Blake Jarwin should be used a lot more as far as a receiving tight end than he is. And if you really want to use Jason Witten again, you can mix it up, but Jason Witten should be utilized more in the red zone if you're going to see him again. Zeke is, you know, the war daddy here. He absolutely, you know, I know Fiance is going to take this in a different way, but I think that this is going to be another run-heavy game. And it's not like we're going to necessarily sit there and, you know, scheme it out. It's not like we're going to force the run. It's just, again, just like last week, I do think we're going to get creative with the run. I think we are going to still pass. I hope that we still see, you know, a little bit of movement from Dak. I hope the Cowboys aren't necessarily afraid to give him the ball and, again, not run with it, but still, again, we still want to show it. We don't want to show that Dak is hurt in any way. Again, I actually do want to see Dak try to attempt to hit, you know, the deeper down the field early in the game or halfway through the game. The point is, at some point, you want to see him do that, keep the defense honest and kind of show off a little bit, say, hey, I'm not hurt. But to me, the run game is going to be key here. I know our receivers have kind of started to fade a little bit into the background these last few games, but I think it's a little bit nice to show the fact that we don't necessarily need our receivers to have a great game in order to win games. And honestly, again, our offensive line had a ton to do with that. Zeke could not have done half of what he did if we didn't have them doing what they did. Su'a-Filo had a pretty solid game. Hopefully he has another solid performance against, again, a pretty beat-up Eagles team. I know their D-line, they do have an injury. Who's hurt on their D-line again?
Barnett, Derek Barnett.
There we go. So again, just fingers crossed that, we can have a favorable matchup there. But again, we saw gaps last week that we haven't seen in a long time. So to me, I'm going to stop talking here, pass it over to you. But to me, that's pretty much the biggest key on offense. And to me, and of course, Pollard is a compliment to Zeke. I still would love to see both of them out there at the same time.
Me too.
But I did like the back and forth of the Zeke and Pollard because, again, I think they were both used really effectively. Both of them had over 100 yards. I can't complain.
Yeah, and by the way, just a quick detour. Just announced now, Nelson Aguilar, the Eagles' top receiver now. They ruled out for tomorrow's game officially. Just wanted to let you know they were missing their top 3 receivers: Deshaun Jackson, Austin Jeffrey, and now Nelson Aguilar. Hands like feet. But anyways, he's more experienced than the next guy, which is a rookie. And the other 2 guys are practice squad guys. So that's what we're going to face tomorrow. Keep that in mind. Now, offense, yes. Everything you guys are saying make a lot of sense. I understand the run game. I understand that last week it seemed like we favored the run game, and we did because of the lead, because of the way we leaned on the run the second half. I believe you're going to see a similar thing as last week. The key, I think, is this. Creative, like you said, creative on running plays. That is a big key. We had Tavon Austin in the backfield. All right. You might see Randall Cobb throw the ball. You might see that. Then you're going to see, I think, some kind of little some trickery to give you jet sweep and then a throw, or just kind of having Tavon back there, Pollard back there, Zeke back there, and Dak also giving you a couple runs, or looks like that could be runs or throws for Dak, but giving him the dual threat run option. I think that's going to be all important. But on first down, the way this game is schemed is what's going to be the key in this game over everything else everybody said, in my opinion. I believe it's the way it's schemed. And again, what I'm trying to say is last week, there was 15 first downs. All right. We only gave the ball to Zeke on 4 of those, 1st and 10s. 15 first down and 10. Let me rephrase that. 15 first down and 10s. And 4 times we gave it to Zeke. The other time it might have been a run to Dak. It might have been a run to Pollard. It might have been a throw. But I think that is key in backing up the defense, keeping them on their heels. I think that's something I want to see every game against every team. I want to see a first down, more of a passing, even as a short, setting up a 2nd and 4. That kind of game I want to see from the Cowboys. And I believe that opens up everything for Zeke. I believe that opens up everything for Tony Pollard and for the tight ends and for possibly the receivers. Remember, the Rams defense is a lot better than the Eagles defense as a whole. Now, Fletcher Cox is comparable to Aaron Donald, let's just say, but it's not even as good as Aaron Donald. And when you look at the secondary, they had Jalen Ramsey, they got Weddle, they got Clay Matthews, a linebacker, they got all these other guys, the names, the Eagles, everyone's injured back there, and the pass defense is one of the worst in the NFL. So do I think they're going to use the Zeke? Yes. I think they're going to use Pollard. But you know what I think they're going to do on first downs? What I think they're going to do, enough of a dosage of this in games, including play action. I think it's going to be a lot of passing on first downs. I think you're going to see a lot more passing than maybe we might expect to start the game. And then if we can get into a little bit of a lead, you're going to see us lean on the run and then make it seem like it's a run-heavy game. Last week on first down, again, weeks before that, guys, we had like 42 1st and 10s. On those 3 losses against New England, against the Bills, and against the Bears, we had about 42 1st down and 10s, and Zeke touched the ball about 28 times. Yeah, predictable. Can't do that. So that's why, yes, you still use Zeke 2nd down and 4. You use Zeke. Other plays you use Zeke sometimes on first down, but I just believe mixing it up, being creative, the offensive scheme we're going to run, and keeping a lot of options open, even with sometimes you can have an execution error and still succeed when you're more creative. And whoever's fault that is, whoever did that, whether it's Garrett more hands-on or Kellen Moore, more hands-on, whatever it is, I don't care. Just keep doing it. If we do that this week against the Eagles, I think that we control this game from start to finish.
You're muted, 1980.
My bad. I'm sorry. Yeah, that is the key. Offensive line is y'all know me. I'm all about the offensive line. That is the key. Their performance, their execution is the reason they take over the game. If they play well, Zeke plays well, Pollard plays well, Coop, everybody plays well. Dak plays well. They give him time. It's all about that offensive line and the way they're playing. If they play like they played last week, injury-free, mistake-free, penalty-free, which I know every game can't be perfect, but, I would love for them to do the same thing they did last week against the Rams. I know it's a different team and, different things happen. We were at home, comfortable. We're going to be on the road, and weather's going to be cold. It's going to be 40-something degrees, so that's a big factor as well. So not only that we're playing the Rams, we're playing the weather too. So offensive line is the key to this game. I like Jarwin. I need Jarwin to actually start and get us up the field. His yards after catch are awesome this season. He's a big play tight end. He can make things happen and get us up the field. And let Witten do, the red zone thing because he knows how to get open and real quick and, whatever. But I just think the Dallas Cowboy offense will be pretty much unstoppable tomorrow if they do everything right. The Eagles, it's going to be tough to stop us. We're number one ranked passing offense in the league. So Dak's not 100%, but I think he'll be okay. But y'all know, get a ball to Zeke. So feed Zeke. And then we got Pollard too. We got a 1-2 punch. Zeke is an excellent blocker. Pollard's, developing game by game, and his speed is unmatched. I mean, once he breaks, it's over with. We finally got a taste of that last week against the Rams. And sky's the limit, man. Like I said, that's all I pretty much got on the offense, man. It's really self-explanatory. This offensive line allowed our offense to get 470-something yards last game. So, I mean, if you can't win off of that, something's wrong. So, but that's all I got, man. I don't have anything else on the offense pretty much. Like I said,
special teams.
Special teams. That's y'all, man. That's y'all's domain. I don't really care about it. I don't even like special teams, man.
Kai Forbath. Do you believe in the bath or not?
After one game, we'll see how he kicks in this weather. That's the real test.
Ooh,
real test. He's got, like I said, we got two opponents tomorrow: the weather and the Eagles. So it's totally different kicking balls indoors than kicking somebody in the balls outdoors. But yeah, we'll see. That's the real test, man. Being outdoors, seeing if he can be, consistent. Consistency is the key with that damn kicker, man. And he was ice water last week, so. I don't know. I mean, it's just one game, so I don't know.
He was as cool as the other side of the pillow.
He was.
What about you, MCF? Do you believe in the bath?
Already better than Maher.
Definitely already better than Maher. And you look at the kicks from 40 to 49 yards. He's made 2 this year in one game. Maher's made 1.
I don't need to believe.
In the rest of the season,
I have
in the whole
the
season.
evidence. Again, Kai Forbath is not our forever kicker, but for right now, he's doing the job. Do your job.
I've actually heard, he doesn't have a powerful leg, and that's the thing. He made a 50-yarder as well, 2 42-yarders and a 50-yarder. He can't do kickoffs. That's a concern. He's not the guy for the long term, but he is the guy for right now. And I do think that that's what we need, a little bit of that new blood there, giving the offense some pride, at least if they can't get in the end zone. They know their kicker can hit a 42-fucking-yard field goal and make it. So that's a huge key. But I also think that for him, I've been reading up on him a little bit, and he's very mentally tough. Something that I think that you have to be as a kicker. And again, he's tougher mentally than he is with his leg. Take that as you like. 50 yards and inside, the guy can make him. And he seems pretty confident. And I think that if he just, kicking is also a lot of confidence in it. I do believe in him for right now. Again, just one game. When you look at him compared to Maher, I mean, it's almost like, how can he not do better, right? But listen, for our Cowboys and for right now, he got a little confidence boosted game last week.
So kickers are all confidence. There you go.
He made horrible kickoffs, but he made extra points. He's not very good in his career. Same percentage as regular field goals. Is how he is percentage wise on extra points, which is not great. But barring that, he made those extra points, made those field goals from makeable and from 50. So to me, that's a plus there. Chris Jones got to get better on his punts. The returns, has been kind of for the Cowboys side non-existent on both sides, whether it's Tavon or Tony Pollard. And then to me, when you look at our coverage, our special teams, we have to do better, I believe, on kickoffs with Kai Forbath. I believe we have to do better, with coverage on both sides, on kickoffs, on punts, on all that stuff. We got to do better on that stuff. And, I don't know. I mean, will that make a difference in his game? Possibly, if it's close. I mean, I think we could, you might see Kai Forbath kicking the game winner in Philly. I mean, but at the same time, I don't want that happening. At the same time, if it gets that close, we're playing a bad game. So what I'm trying to say is this: is that in the end, when it's all said and done, I'm just hoping that special teams doesn't have anything to do with it. Doesn't cost us anything. If it's a close game, coaching will be a factor in this as well. And I think that's an issue that where they have an advantage over us. With Peterson is better than Garrett coaching, and it comes down to clutch. Who do you trust better when it comes to actually making the calls? So yeah, I mean, all that stuff we can't let it get close because they get more confidence every second they stay close or in the lead or 1 point back in the fourth quarter. They're getting more confident. They're at home. So when you look at it, the intangibles, special teams, all these things, we got to. If it's close, these things have to be near perfect. They have to be what you expect every week from an NFL team. So perfect, I guess you'd say. You got to do your job and execute.
Yeah, we don't want to have to depend on the kicker, on the special teams. I don't like special teams anyway, so. But, yeah, we don't want to have to go down to the wire. Hopefully it won't go down to that, but we just need him to make his extra points after Zeke or Coop or Dak Prescott scores a touchdown. That's the only thing I'm concerned about, just making extra points. I don't want to be depending on field goals because you can't win games with field goals unless you're the damn New Orleans Saints. But, yeah, that's all I got, man, on special teams. I mean, Forbath, he looked pretty good last week. He looked really good last week. He was excellent on his field goals. He didn't miss anything. He looked real. They had the camera on him a lot. He looked real bouncy, and he was full of confidence. He was happy. So that's good for a kicker. That's all a kicker needs to be successful in the NFL, just confidence and knowing that he can make the field goal and help the team out in any kind of way that he can. That's pretty much it with special teams. I mean, just make your field goals. We just really want you kicking extra points. We don't want field goals. We want extra points. That's it. That's all we need you for, and to kick the ball off. And don't kick the damn ball out of bounds because we don't need those penalties and shit. So that's it, man. That's all I got. Anybody got anything else? Any questions in the chat or anything like that? My Cowboys family on your end?
No, we're good. I mean, questions in the chat. I think that we're kind of looking, and everyone's conversing on basically what we've all been kind of talking about, and general look at this game. Look, the way I'm looking at this, and I'm curious what you guys think as well, fiance. I mean, look, if things don't go well, we lose this game. I mean, do you not all agree on this table, on this panel, that Garrett and company need to be fired, or at least Garrett needs to be fired? I mean, what do you think should happen if this season is blown against a team? Like, this would be a Garrett type of game. You know what I mean? Like, Garrett
would still make it to week 17. He won't get fired until after the Redskins.
I mean, this whole season is in one game. Think about it. The whole, for better or for worse, this season, and we made our own bet on this thing. The season is in one game. That is tomorrow. That's a playoff game tomorrow. Yes, I know we can back into the playoffs by beating the Redskins of last week and losing to the and the Eagles lose at New York. We really want to rely on that. We can just take care of business tomorrow.
Yeah.
We should. This team is depleted and broken. There's no excuses. I will keep the same energy tomorrow, win, lose, or draw. You guys know this. I know that some guys in the chat don't know this, but I'm telling you that, I expect us to win. If we don't, they all need to go. They all need to go. Sorry. You got to make some moves. I got to shake shit up because this is embarrassing with this talent that we have on this team. And that's just us saying it. We've seen it. Analysts have said it. Scouts have said it. Everyone has said it. And even if it's not as good as we maybe initially thought, it's still better. It's still up there. It's still damn good talent. We know we have it because we saw what we did last week when whatever they did adjustment-wise, coaching-wise, and the players executing as well. But the whole combination of things, you see what we are capable of doing. So the talent is there. Let's not get that mistake.
Football news.
What's the question?
Cowboys family.
It was any last questions, like any last comments or questions, I guess.
Well, yeah, they brought up if we lose, if the Dallas Cowboys lose, which I hope we don't, but they brought up,
No, he won't. Well, yeah, Jason Garrett won't get fired because Jerry Jones is going to bet his bottom dollar that the Giants can beat the Eagles and we beat the Redskins. And if that's the case, then we're back in the playoff hunt.
Right.
So he definitely won't get fired if we lose this game. And he already said it. He's not going to fire him. He's not even thinking about coaching changes. If he does think about that, it's going to be in the off season, not during the season.
You think he'll really get fired in the off season?
He probably will. I mean, it just depends.
Well, you can't get fired once your contract expires.
Right? Yeah. See,
you can't get fired if you don't have a contract.
All right, semantics. So you think they'll release him? Do you think they'll never pick up his contract? What do you think?
No, he won't get another contract again for the Dallas Cowboys.
He's getting the fuck out of here, Garrett.
That's why they didn't give him one. I mean, because he just said it. Football News just said it. I was about to say that, but you beat me to it. But
woo! That's the first time. Usually you do that to me.
But like I say, I don't want to have to worry about that until that time comes. Let's just hope we win this game tomorrow. I don't like to say must-win game for the Cowboys, but it kind of is. I don't like to say those words, but it is. And this is actually a playoff game tomorrow for both parties. And we're looking to get into the playoffs, just like any other team or any other fan base, shooting or voting for their team. We got to win this game. We got to take advantage. We got to take advantage of the opportunity. We have the upper hand. We have the talent. I believe we have the better team, and we're in the driver's seat. Like Miss Fiance say, on paper we're in the driver's seat, and they just got to exploit it tomorrow. They just have to prove it tomorrow. They have to win here. You have to win before you get on the field. If you don't win against the Rams, they won. But all those games that we lost, they were already a beaten team before we even got on the field and faced those teams because they didn't have any game plan. They weren't ready. They weren't mentally ready. You got to be mentally ready to win these games first, and then you can kind of, you'll do it. Obviously, you'll do it out on the field. But that's just my 2 cents on that because I played the game, on different levels before. And if you're not mentally ready, you're not going to do a good job out there on the field. And what you don't, like I keep saying over and over, what you don't do in practice is you don't do on the field. So I hope the Dallas Cowboys were able to get out because our weather was pretty much the same all week like it's going to be in Philadelphia tomorrow. It's been 40s, 30s in the mornings, 40s for the high, in the afternoon, late afternoon, then the back 30s again at night. So I hope the Dallas Cowboys were out there, physically practicing in that type of weather, in that type of environment to get prepared for this game because there's no roof. It's outdoor, so that's another opponent right there, especially when you're a dome team. You're facing the team and the weather at the same time. They're used to it. They're out there, it's not cold. Somebody that lives on the, on the East Coast, it could be 20 degrees outside. It feels great out here, But us, it's always hot here. So, we're like, well, shit, it's cold out there. It's 40 degrees. I'm cold, so it's just the way it is, so. But, that's pretty much all I got, man. I don't know if y'all got anything else or wanted to add anything else. They just need to execute and win, move the chains on third down, score in the red zone, defensive 3 and out, and penalties. You cannot beat because penalties will beat you faster than the other team, like literally. And every time we get that penalty, I always type in the comment section of my Cowboys family stream, here we go with the penalties. They'll beat you faster than the other team, and they will because that other team will capitalize off that penalty, off that mistake that you made. You get what I'm saying? So, they just got to play smart and know that they're the better team tomorrow.
All right. I guess I'll start off with closing statements. Let me walk you through a little Jason Garrett error when it comes down to win or go home. His record isn't very good. It takes me back. I can't remember the year. Maybe 2011. 2012. It was win and get in. And Tony Romo throws a late interception. Landon Fletcher picks it off, ends the ball game. The next year, Romo's hurt. Kyle Orton's in, trying to hit Miles Austin on a slant interception from Philly. And Cowboys go home. And it was the same scenario we're in right now. Win and go home. And Jason Garrett's record isn't very good in those situations. But there's a first time for everything. You know, Cowboys lost for the very first time on Thursday night football this year. Dak Prescott beat the Carolina Panthers for the first time in Dallas Cowboy history. You know, Dak Prescott's seen a lot of first. And right now, maybe this will be the first time Jason Garrett can turn the page and win the win or go home game. And this is it. This is the win or go home game. And wear your jerseys proudly if you're going to the game. I think Space Cowboy 17, a fellow former roundtable member here, he's going to the game for sure. You know, represent proudly, represent pridefully. You know, do your traditions that you knew, you know, your little jujus, your little superstitions. I'm going to be cooking me some steak, relaxing, chilling. I might have me a couple of cervezas. And if you know what that means beer, baby. And I'm just going to take it easy and let the pads do the talking. Eagle fans have been talking. They're in the comment section talking as we speak. Like, I wish there was more Eagle fans out there because Cowboy Nation, we're worldwide. We got Cowboys abroad. We got Florida to California, all the way to Canada, all the way down to Mexico. Just fans everywhere.
Brazil,
yes, sir. And I wish there was more Eagle fans so they could quit coming to Cowboy people. So, you know, stop it. Just let the pads do the talking. Enough's enough. We're both 7-7. What the hell is there to brag about? But that's all I got, guys. Dallas Cowboy Football News on YouTube. Dallas Cowboy Football News on Facebook. The Frisco Report on Podbean, Spotify, and iTunes. DCF News 1 on Twitter. And any of you Eagle fans, if any of you guys are man enough to talk X's and O's, I'll pip slap you like a hoe.
Football News. Hey, make sure y'all subscribe to my boy, man. If you already haven't, I'm pretty sure you already have if you're in this live stream. Thank you, brother, for joining the roundtable, man. I appreciate your knowledge. My Cowboys family, go ahead and close out your statements, man. What you got? Last minute statements, opinions, whatever.
Last words on this game.
No, I feel like I talked way too much on that offensive breakdown. So honestly, just do what you got to do, Cowboys. I just want to see our team succeed. I want to see them carry this momentum forward. I hopefully do want to see them run the ball. I know you don't necessarily want to see them run the ball. I'm just saying, I know you don't want to see them run the ball as much as I do.
Right.
But,
the beginning of the game.
Yeah, but overall, just, you know, excited to see how they perform. Again, I'm really looking at these guys very critically because, again, I know what Jason Garrett's going to do. But there are still a few people here who do care, who do want this, who, you know, want to make this happen, right? So, and that comes down to the players. That's it. At the point blank, these players have to want it more than anything else, and they have to put in the effort 10 times harder than any other team because they're down more than any other team in this league right now, currently in their position. So, you know, recognize the fact that you're the underdog, you know, but don't let it get you down and go out there and just play with some heart.
I think that even though, you know, I mean, we are definitely, I think, the team that's favored to win. That's why it's not the best, you know, situation for the Cowboys to come into. Usually something like this, I think the Cowboys usually do better when we're not expected to win. But there's still no excuse. Obviously, there's no excuse in this one. I don't care about NFC's rivalry. I don't care about the Eagles and we're playing in Philly. I don't care about any of that thing. Right now, we are much better talent-wise and injury-wise than the Eagles are. And again, even though they are better coaching, they might have some better intangibles on special teams or whatever. We should beat this team. We should beat them pretty damn well. We should. Will we? I don't know. I want to see. I don't trust this team yet. Our Cowboys. I like what I saw. I love what I saw last week.
Yeah.
I can't trust it yet.
Yeah.
So I got to see consistency from this team. I know it's a playoff type game. It's a must win because it's an elimination game, basically. So for me, it is. I know we can still get in, but I don't. That's an elimination to me. So to me, this is it. This is you win, you get in. If you can't get up for this game against Philadelphia in Philly, where you have never won the NFC East crown there in their home turf, I believe that this is you don't deserve to get in. I mean, I'm not even disappointed. It's like you guys deserve this. So I expect nothing less than a dominant display by the Cowboys out there, and I'm hoping to see those inconsistencies we've seen all season, go away and see a consistent team we saw last week on offense, on defense, with player execution, tackles, and running your routes and blocking and all that stuff. But also the scheme we're using on offense, the scheme we're using on defense. This obviously different than what we've done the other 14 weeks of the season, what we did last week. It's obvious, without question. And especially throughout an entire game. So to me, that's going to be the key. We got to continue that offensive and defensive scheme. We do that, the Eagles cannot stop us. I don't care if they had their full team out there or a battered, injured team that they got right there now. So that's all I got to say on this. I mean, you guys were we love this kind of discussion. We're passionate. The energy is real. And hey, listen, I know it's a toilet bowl, the NFC least. I know it's the two 7-7 teams. We knew this was going to happen. We knew it was going to be the Cowboys and Eagles. It's just instead of 11 or 12 wins, it's at 7 wins. So it is what it is. You never know. Second season is the playoffs. Let's get in there and worry about everything else later. That's all I want to see.
One game at a time. But, guys, we are My Cowboys family. You can find us right here on YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, all that good stuff. But you guys know why we do.
Guys, it's that navy blue, that silver too, that star over everything. Never forget right here, My Cowboys family and the round table. Go Cowboys! Let's go, baby! Beat the fuck out of the Eagles! Fuck Philly!
That was My Cowboys family, guys. If you haven't subscribed to them, make sure you do, man. They do live streams every night. Hardest working family on YouTube, in Cowboy Nation on YouTube. They will be live streaming the game tomorrow, so make sure y'all join them in watching the game. But in closing, y'all know I got to close out with pride and spirit. Guys, last time I checked, this was a Dallas Cowboy channel. Dallas Cowboy fans, Dallas Cowboy fan base. So if we say something that obviously 9 times out of 10, you're not going to agree with it because you're not a Dallas Cowboy fan. What you're being here really baffles me because I don't do it. So I don't see why you even waste your time if you're not a Cowboy fan. If we suck so bad, if we haven't won a Super Bowl in 25 years, why are you here? I don't get it. But I never will get it because you can't teach stupidity. But like I say, guys, we got a big game tomorrow. We got to go ahead and knock these Philadelphia Eagles out the water so we can go on to and get the NFC East title for the 5th time? Yeah. I think this is a winnable game for us. I believe on paper we have the advantage. If we do Miss Fiance's formula and play like we played last week against the Rams, the sky's the limit, guys. We can be unstoppable. Nothing's impossible. That's one thing you got to look. Now, this Cowboy team, we're probably the only Cowboy fans that will admit to why we lost games and point out the bad things. I don't mind doing that. And Mr. Fiance said that he made a good point. He was like, there's some bad things that have been happening this season against this team. We're 7-7 for a reason. A lot of games that we lost and out of stupidity and just, dumbness alone. And you never know what you're going to get with this Cowboys team. You remember back in the day when you would buy a pack of basketball cards and you would luck up and get a Jordan card or a Magic Johnson card or a Larry Bird card, back in the day. You would luck up, and you're like, oh, shoot, cool, I got a Jordan card. You take good care of that card, That's what we saw. That's what it felt like we got from the Dallas Cowboys last week. It felt like that Michael Jordan card that we've been waiting on and buying these pack of cards every week, going to 7-Eleven or, the One Stop or, Diamond Shamrock or whatever, and going about basketball cards as a kid and getting that big-time, big player card that you've been looking for. That's what we're looking for tomorrow. I want that Jordan card tomorrow. I want that Magic Johnson card. You get what I'm saying? I want that. I want those Dallas Cowboys tomorrow. If we get those Dallas Cowboys, we'll win the game. You know, I'm not underestimating Philadelphia just because they got a lot of injuries. They still got a little bit of heart too. And Wentz can make some things happen. He's not a perfect quarterback, but he don't suck either. He can make some things happen and stretch the field and open some things up. You know, they got a couple of aces up their sleeve too. You know, they get paid to play the game too. So anything can happen, especially going to the playoffs. And I always bring up the Giants back in 2011. They snuck through the back door. They got on a hot streak, and they won the Super Bowl. They beat the undefeated New England Patriots. So anything is possible, guys. Don't come on here talking that yin yang. Oh, y'all just talking. You just never know. Don't make sure you make your words sweet, short and sweet, because you might have to eat them. But anyway, guys, that's all we got, man. We ain't got nothing else, man. We got to win this game tomorrow. Make sure y'all stay cowboyed up and prayed up, because you never know what the day is going to bring you. Holla back. We out.